Good day, everyone. I'm here to present to you our study, Utilization of Open Educational Resources Materials in Mathematics in Enhancing the Academic Performance and Attitude of Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics students in pre-calculus subject in Indang National High School, Senior High School. With me is my co-teacher, Ma'am Haydee P. Mojica, and Ma'am Felinda E. Cruz, our school principal.
The mathematics curriculum in the Philippines under K-12 is anchored on the principle that the ability of students to learn is highly influenced by their attitudes and beliefs. This is based on SEI, DOST, and MATED in 2011. Studies show that students considered as high achievers in school tend to have more positive attitudes towards mathematics than students with lower achievements. Students should be exposed on different learning materials and activities that will enhance their attitudes in mathematics. The advent of technology in mathematics education gives rise to a multitude of instructional materials that the teachers can utilize, such as open educational resources or OER materials. OER are teaching, learning, and research materials that permits no cost, access, use, adaptation, and redistribution by orders with no or limited restriction. Here, learning materials are freely available and accessible to learners. Also, anyone is free to adapt and modify the learning materials. Here are the research questions. First, what is the academic performance of STEM students in pre-calculus before and after the utilization of OER materials? Second, what is the attitude of STEM students in pre-calculus before and after the utilization of OER materials? Third, is there a significant difference on the academic performance of STEM students in pre-calculus before and after the utilization of OER materials? Fourth, is there a significant difference on the attitude of STEM students in pre-calculus before and after the utilization of OER materials? Next is the scope and limitation. Limited on the effect of the utilization of OER materials on the academic performance and attitude in pre-calculus of 25 grade 11 STEM students in Indang National High School, Senior High School during the first quarter of school year 2019-2020.
Research methodology. Participants of this study included 25 grade 11 STEM students who obtained a final grade below 85% in pre-calculus during the first quarter of school year 2019-2020 at Indang National High School, Senior High School. The participants used OER materials in pre-calculus available in the Department of Education OER collection. These materials included the following applications. Number 1 is the Course Lab 2.4. It is an open e-learning creation software that can be used to animate lectures and PowerPoint presentations. Another application is the Wondershare Quiz Creator. It is a quizzing creation software that can be used to animate lectures and PowerPoint presentations. These OER materials were modified and utilized based on the list mastered competencies in pre-calculus in the first quarter of the school year in Indang National High School. Selected STEM students used the OER materials for 1 month. A 10-item test on every identified very least mastered competency in pre-calculus was administered before and after the intervention program using OER materials. The attitude toward calculus inventory or ATCI adopted from Huang and Lin in 2015 was used to measure students' attitudes toward pre-calculus was also administered before and after the utilization of the OER materials. This 20-item inventory scale is divided into 4 subscales. One is the self-confidence with 6 items, value 5 items, enjoyment 6 items, and motivation with 3 items. ATCI is a 5-point Likert scale with the following level. With a score of 5, it can be verbally interpreted into strongly agree, 4 with agree, 3 with neutral, 2 as disagree, and 1 as strongly disagree. In order to validate the research instruments, the instruments were administered to grade 12 general academic strand students who obtained a final grade below 85% in pre-calculus in the first quarter. Cooter, Richardson, and Cronbach reliability test was applied to measure its validity and reliability and resulted to 0.85 and to 0.84 respectively. T-test and correlated means was used to identify significant difference on the pre and post-test scores and the attitude of participants before and after the intervention program in pre-calculus.
Okay, for the results of the study, for the pre-test and the post-test scores of the students in pre-calculus, for the first competency, the mean percentage score in the pre-test is 30%, while on the post-test, this is 67.20%. On the second competency, the mean percentage score in the pre-test is 31.20%, while on the post-test is 72.80%. On the third competency, the mean percentage score is 32.4 in the pre-test and 67.5% in the post-test, with an overall of mean percentage score of 31.20% in the pre-test and 69.20% in the post-test. In terms of students' attitude in pre-calculus, so in terms of self-confidence, in the pre-assessment, the mean is 15.04, while in the post-assessment, this is 23.24, with a percent increase of 54.52%. In terms of value, in the pre-assessment, the mean is 12.40, while on the post-assessment, this is 20.08, which is equivalent to 61.94% increase. In terms of enjoyment, the mean is 19.20 in the pre-assessment and 20.46 in the post-assessment, indicating a 28.13% increase. In terms of motivation, the mean is 10.2 in the pre-assessment and 12.32 in the post-assessment, with a percent increase of 20.78. For the overall attitude, the mean is 56.84 in the pre-assessment and 80.24 in the post-assessment, with a percent increase of 41.17%. So for the comparison of the pre-test and post-test scores of students in pre-calculus, for the first competency, the computed t-value is 11.48, p-value of 0 which is significant. For the second competency, the computed t-value is 14.22, p-value of 0 which is significant. Third competency, the computed t-value is 11.3, p-value of 0 which is significant. Overall, computed t-value is 14.6, p-value of 0 which is significant. And then for the comparison of attitude in pre-calculus, in terms of self-confidence, computed t-value of 14.13 and p-value of 0 which is significant value, Computed value is 15.6, p-value 0, which is significant. In terms of enjoyment, the computed value is 7.54, p-value 0, which is significant. Then motivation, the computed value is 5.93, computed p-value 0, which is significant. And then for the overall attitude, the computed value is 19.34, p-value 0, which is significant. For the conclusion of our study, so we identified that the integration of the open educational resources, materials in mathematics, increased the academic performance of STEM students in pre-calculus. Also, we identify that the integration of the open educational resources materials in mathematics increased the attitude of STEM students in pre-calculus. So these are the references for our study. Okay, thank you very much and good day.